guys, and welcome to another Schematics update. This time we want to talk about surviving Mars again, because Paradox just announced 3 new DLC, and for that I'm joined by BlindIRL.
Hey man, yeah, it feels like we literally just talked about this, because I'm pretty sure we literally just talked about this, and I remember thinking out loud after we were done recording, I wonder when they're going to announce their first paid DLC, and sure enough, like 2 to 3 days later, there was tweets saying, "We're announcing paid DLC," so finally those people who bought the season pass back at launch can have what they've paid for. On the surface it looks like 3 DLCs, but it's kind of just what Paradox has been doing with Cities Skylines recently, where they have the base DLC, which is called Space Race, which we'll talk about in a second, as well as 2 others, which is the Colony Design Building Set and the Marsvision Song Contest, which is your radio station. Absolutely just a Eurovision parody.
Space Race is, as you already said, it's basically the main DLC or the big DLC of these 3, and Space Race gives you a lot of neat features. They talk just a little about it, but we have some points here. For example, you have competitors, AI competitors on Mars, and I think it's 3 competitors, right?
We should be specific. They did state this is not multiplayer. This is 100% you against the computer AI, but this allows for things such as stealing colonists, trading with other factions. Different factions have new bots, so you'll have things like the new rovers and new drones. We saw those in the trailer, alongside of drop pods, which are like an alternative to a rocket, which is, I would assume, faster than a rocket, but who knows? We'll see how that works mechanically.
New rocket designs. Yeah,
there's new rocket designs, and in the screenshot that they released, you can see a map of Mars, which is kind of cool looking because you can see the different colonies and factions.
Yeah, you can see Brazil and Russia and the United States. And then you have like small question marks there, which is another new thing. These are random events. It says here, after analyzing complex data, your scientists have suggested an expedition to this area. So I'm guessing you're sending out people?
Yeah, I would assume that this is going to be something similar to what we've seen in other games in the similar genres, where you send out kind of an expedition and then it probably puts it on a timer and then you get a reward. What I would really like to see is, like, this is just me speculating, so I have no idea, but what I would really like to see is if you go out to one of these, maybe it's like a mini mystery type deal, so maybe they bring something nasty back. I think that would be really cool. Just like negative effects, or like, you know, just obviously the here you got some resources, or here's some positive rewards. I think that this is going to actually bring some really interesting gameplay to Surviving Mars, because Surviving Mars always felt a little bit static. I think that this is going to kind of make it feel more alive in a way, and I'm very much looking forward to messing around with that. Announced alongside of this DLC, there's a free update, which is a full UI overhaul, which I'm also very much looking forward to seeing. So during the live stream, somebody in the chat mentioned briefly terraforming. Now, they didn't strictly announce anything. I should be very clear here. But the ladies playing did look at the camera and say, "We can't talk about that, but keep your eyes and ears peeled."
Oh, that's nasty.
So with the main news aside, let's talk about the Colony Design Building Set.
The Colony Design Building Set, what a name. Gives you like 25 new buildings, if I heard right on stream. So new designs or new buildings for living quarters, small living quarters, apartments, smart homes, and a lot of other things. So really a lot of buildings. I kind of like this because it adds variety to the game.
Yeah, it seems like less of a here's a bunch of new buildings and just a here's alternate versions of every building we have already. And we should mention this is also being sold separately. So if you do not want to buy the Space Race pack, you can just buy this for $5 instead of purchasing the whole shebang. If you're a season pass holder, you already have it.
So do we want to talk about the Marsvision Song Contest?
I mean, Surviving Mars has always had kind of a weird sense of humor. Like a very dark, weird, futuristic sense of humor. It just reminds you that these are the old Tropico developers, right? And this is their version of Eurovision. It's not really my shebang, probably won't listen to it much. I really like just the default Surviving Mars radio station and then my music. But it seems okay. No real thoughts on it. You can also buy that separately.
Right, exactly. So actually don't have any dates,
No, we still don't have an exact release date. I'm assuming soon. They are running a closed beta. I guess sometime after that is done, and that is running until the 14th. So if I were to predict a release date, I would say maybe like either one of the last 2 Tuesdays of this month, either the 23rd or the 30th, maybe even the 6th.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So we kind of talked a little bit about the price tag already, just to conclude this here. So that's a pretty standard price tag for all of these, for Paradox, I think.
Yeah, no, this is basically on par with City Skylines expansions. I know that there was some people saying that they weren't sure what they thought of the plus editions. I think they're fine. I don't really have an issue with them doing it that way, because then if somebody doesn't want something specifically, you can just not go for it. It does feel a little expensive, just from what we've seen, but maybe they'll show more. It's a little steep. I think the base space race price is good, but the building set is
I agree with you. For designing additional content and buildings, you need artists, and artists need food in general, besides our very own editing artist, but we will come to that later. First of all, thanks Blind for joining and being up that early in the morning for you.
I got 6 hours.
To you guys out there, first of all, thanks a lot for watching. If you really liked, if you liked this video,
hit the space button.
Yeah, hit the space button. And if you really liked the video, you may want to consider heading over to Coffee to buy our editor Ad a coffee, so he can stay up all night editing this video, enslaved in his little colony house on Mars. It's a far way to ship coffee there, but we are very happy to do so if he continue editing our videos. Anyway guys, thanks a lot for listening again. See you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.